Here are some tips and tricks to help the Biobloc with or without occlusal coverage fit a little bit more snug in the patient's mouth. When you do receive the appliance, you will notice that it may or may not fit the plastic cast, and that is a-okay. So if you're having issues with the hang clasps staying put or snapping into the patient's mouth, there's a few things that we do chairside. I will take a bird beak, and sometimes I will take the portion of the hang clasp, pull it slightly upward, and then I will direct it inward as well. And you can see here where the tooth is that the hang clasp will just be a bit more snug around the tooth. I'll do the same thing with the distal portion. And sometimes what I find, if the patient's tooth isn't fully erupted yet, or if there's not much of a tooth structure, cutting this distal portion of the clasp will help it grab on just a little bit easier. So inward and upward, and you don't want to go too far up. That could cause some gum irritation, and you want the hang clasp to still wrap around the tooth and not focus on the gums. So you can always trim a little bit more with the hang clasp and just point it inward a little bit more to get as snug as you need. And then you'll repeat the same steps on the other side. The other thing you can do, if the appliance has the hang clasps on the 6s and there's a ball clasp in between, a 4 and a 5, or a C and a D, or a D and an E, sorry, what you can do is take your bird beak and move the ball clasp upward and inward. And that'll just help give a little extra retention. The other thing we notice is if the occlusion is too high on one side, that can make the appliance pop out on one side or the other. So just make sure you're checking to see if the occlusion is even on either side. And that should definitely help out with the appliance clicking into place. And yeah, you can always also glue it in too. If you're finding that the appliance just isn't staying in, you can use blue Fuji just in the portion of the teeth, and that'll also help it stay in.